He's the man who believes he could be the transitional leader of Iran.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
But the deal his American allies have agreed suggests regime change is no longer their goal. The son of the last Shah, in exile for almost half a century, has seen only fragments of what's been agreed. But he fears any memorandum that takes the regime at its word.
Is this a good week for the people of Iran? Is that a breakthrough, or is this a bad week?
Look, this regime cannot be trusted. It's only trying to buy time. And 40,000 Iranians haven't died in the span of 2 days for a nuclear deal or for the Strait of Hormuz to remain open. They have died for the sake of liberty and freedom and democracy. And they've been oddly absent of any negotiation. You cannot trust a regime that just today executed yet again 2 of the people who were part of that uprising in January 8th and 9th. It's just trying to buy time. This is partly the reason why I think this deal will not work or will not last.
Not sure if you've heard these comments from President Trump at the G7 today. He said the current Iranian leadership are very rational people. They are nice to deal with. They are strong and smart people. They are not radicalized, and they are looking to help their country. Does that hurt to hear that?
Well, I'll wait for the next tweet, which might come in a few hours, because we have seen a pattern of contradictory messages coming out. So I'm not going to judge by every headline that is coming out. How many of these campaigns of liberation around the world have we witnessed that didn't have a component of foreign support or assistance that put an end to unwanted situations?
And how does that
Iran
look?
should not be an exception.
How does that ambition and that sentiment look in terms of bullet points in this memorandum of understanding? What do you need to see in that document?
Well, I think I would say that it's not just a nuclear issue. It's not just the waterways being open. It's not just about the fact that there are long-range missiles that are not possibly targeting most of continental Europe, but it's about political prisoners. It's about executions. It's about a lack of communications with the free world.
So you'd like that memorandum to say something specific about access to the internet, about political prisoners?
Well, I think if they want to take into account what it will mean in terms of popular sentiments in Iran, as opposed to satisfying a regime that is clearly unpopular and untrusted by the nation. This is really, at the end of the day, a matter of moral responsibility. If any of this is absent in this discussion, that means that you ignore a whole nation and you're just trying to find a way out of this mess and basically kick the can down the road and let it be somebody else's problem.
You have been so aligned with the Trump administration. You steered clear of directly criticizing them, even when more than 150 people were killed in the attack on the school. Do you regret that?
Look, any human life loss is one too many. Of course, we are all grieving for the casualties that occur. But who is to blame in all this? It's the regime that actually, to take a page out of what Hamas has done in Gaza, hiding people, using them as human shields. For us, it was a path to liberation. It was a path to, it's almost like a rescue mission of some form if you are a hostage. And I think the rest of the job is for the Iranian people to do.
This was a US attack, and surely many of your compatriots will find it difficult seeing you in that answer unable to directly criticize the US actions.
Well, if you want to take one incident and blame the entire action just on that fact, that's distorting the picture. The reality is that when people saw that help was coming, they started writing the president's name on the walls on the streets of Iran, naming streets after him. Can you on the one hand say a nation is on the verge of being liberated? It's like telling the French, did you object the fact that the Allied landed in Normandy and liberated you from the Nazis? Otherwise, you'll be speaking German right now. To us, that intervention was necessary to cripple the regime that is using military weaponry to shoot at their own citizens on the street.
We've been reporting and investigating plots against Iran international journalists in this country. including one plot that was foiled and dubbed the wedding by the IRGC. 2 weeks ago, we had convictions in the cases of a plot against another Iran international presenter.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more to it. And in fact, I've conveyed our assessment and the mapping of all the networks that the regime is using under the guise of cultural centers or what have you, that fund these actions, that support the terrorist cells that are not deployed on European soil, including the UK. Look, if this is something that is happening to somebody living on European soil in a country of freedom, when there should be rule of law, that there should be justice, that there should be police protection, what have you, and they are being victimized here in Europe, imagine what's happening in Iran. That's the entire point.
One last question. The World Cup. Tell me what it means to you to see Iran play, and tell me what it means to the Iranian people, what it would mean to see them win.
You know, every time in all these years, as an instinctive reaction, I always supported our national team, regardless of the political circumstances, because it's our national team, whether it's in the Olympics or anywhere else. This is the first time I can tell you there's a lot of mixed feelings about this, if not a decisive opinion about it. Look at what happened to the Iranian female soccer team in Australia. They were forced, although they wanted to seek asylum, they were blackmailed